Hello and welcome back to another exciting episode of the IGN AU Pubcast Plays series, soon to be award-winning, perhaps, probably not.
I think IGN gave it 2 out of 10. Just letting
This
you know.
one is an extra special edition because not only are we playing a game that's actually good
for a change,
but we're also joined by one of the creators of it. Well, two of them, but only one of them will be speaking. But before we intro him, it's Tristan Ogilvy here. Joining me, Luke Riley.
Hey.
Jem Gold.
Hello.
And Cam Shea.
Hello.
And last but not least, Randy Pitchford. Welcome.
Hey, welcome,
Hey,
Randy.
hello.
Thank you for being here.
Pretty happy to be here.
And Randy, we should just quickly say that when everybody gets introduced, like a little picture of them pops up on screen. So what we need from you is like a glamour shot of some description.
Yes.
Just
like
do
preferably blowing a kiss to the camera or naked
look,
would also...
Just do a Google
work.
search and turn safe search off, and you'll find everything you need.
Yeah, well, especially just Randy. Randy, tell us what we're going to be
Why
playing
didn't you
here.
use Pubcast as getting Randy?
Yeah, Randy.
Yeah, I mean...
It's too obvious.
okay,
Yeah, it's
too
way
obvious.
too
Okay,
obvious.
good point.
never go for the obvious.
Randy.
I've never heard Randy jokes before, so this is really
Shut up.
exciting for me. This is really neat.
Set
It's a
this
whole
up.
new
What are we
world.
going to be checking out today?
Let's see. So we're going to be playing Borderlands 2, and we've got Salvador the Gunzerker and Zero the Assassin. You can see them both in the main menu. And I think they're going to be jumping into a kind of an arena fight, the Hyperion Slaughter. And one of the neat things here, just looking at the menu, you can see that the character you picked is actually in the main menu. And if you'll notice in the background here, like look at Salvador's screen, you can see Zero behind him somewhere. There he is.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're in the game together. They're
Yeah,
playing cooperatively.
I can see Salvador
Yeah.
and Zero's screen.
If you remember the loading or the menu screens in Borderlands 1, we had Claptrap up to antics being kind of silly. So he's running around out there too to entertain us if you get bored of looking at your own character. But anyway, let's get started. Joining us to play the game, we've got Brent Friedman, who's a programmer on the Gearbox Software team, and Alan from 2K Games.
This is his work we're looking at right now.
In fact, this is Brent's loading screen.
It's an
Wow.
excellent loading screen.
And
That's
he used a
fantastic.
procedurally generated random weapon. Notice how
Exactly like a gun.
Yes, it's
Is that a different gun every time? Just
one
like-
of the millions and millions of
So
weapons.
the last game had 10 or 11 guns, was it? I
was-
always forget the number. I always forget the number. I know it was big.
You're only
but-
off by 6 orders of magnitude.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. All right, so here we are in this kind of staging area in the Ore Chasm. This is where the arena battle will begin.
Are there multiple orgasms?
There's one Ore Chasm, and then.
But it's a biggie.
And that does say innuendo bot
So
there,
yeah, the innuendo bot 5000 will set us up. He likes to make lewd comments. It's kind of fun.
Wait, Orgasm, I get it.
Yes, you caught up
Thanks
with
for
the rest
doing
of
it.
us. Oh, Anthony is a character. Anthony Birch is the writer of the game, and I think he had a lot of fun with this stuff. It's all in good fun, though. It's all good-natured. I'll tell you what. Before we get heading out there, let's develop our skills. Let's see who's up. Let's get Zero's skill tree set up. Zero, you want to build down the cunning tree a bit? First, we'll take the deception skill there at the top, which allows him to go invisible and place a decoy so that his enemies get confused as he surrounds them. And the cunning tree is really a ninja tree, so there's lots of cool skills there that allow him to kind of do ninja-like things. The other trees are bloodshed and sniping, which sniping kind of speaks for itself. I think cunning is a great place to start. If we run into any trouble, we can think about respecking later. So let's watch Brent make his choices. Marked for death would be good since we're playing co-op. If you mark an enemy, it will also allow allies to do more damage to
Right.
the enemy.
Assassin's definitely one of the most interesting classes, I think, just because it's so skill-based.
He's really
I like
cool.
the emphasis on critical hits, and I like, just how tactical you need to be.
There's a lot of that, but I think what's really neat about him is how wild and diverse the different trees are. For example, the bloodshed tree tends to focus on using his melee weapon, his sword,
Right.
on being up close, whereas the sniping tree is the exact opposite of
Yep.
that. And look at that. Every time you fire a gun, you have a chance to fire twice. So 6% of the time, he's going to throw off two rounds with one trigger pull, which is pretty effective for your throughput. But if you want the best throughput, you want to look at Salvador the Gunzerker. He's really built for damage, especially at range. What do you think? You're going to go Gunlust? You're going to go Rampage? Or are you going to go Brawn Tree? It's up to you, Alan. Let's see what you do. Don't take too long to make a choice.
I mean, the menus are fabulous, but
Isn't it cool?
I kind of
Yeah.
want to kill some stuff right now.
Jason Shields and Leo Sieben and other guys on the Charles helped a lot with the really kind of 3D effect of the UI. It's really slick.
Yeah.
I really like it. Yeah, they knocked it out of the park for sure.
And so, actually, just while we're on this menu screen, and speaking of the guns, is it? I noticed in some of the marketing materials you're saying that there's a bazillion guns. Has that been verified? Or
They're still working on that. You know,
still counting?
I'll tell you that
I think at Googleplex,
it was
would be
about.
impressive.
It was actually only about 2 months ago that the Guinness Book of World Records awarded Borderlands with the most guns ever in a video game.
I don't want to poo-poo
And-
that achievement, but they make up that.
No, they counted them.
You know what I'm saying?
They
Though?
counted
Like,
them.
they have the most ridiculous. I mean, that is a good one. I'll grant you that is
Yeah,
an excellent
yeah,
award.
yeah.
But they have some really random shit in those.
Yeah. Why don't you guys run out there and get started? We got a tank here, Bronchu. We'll look at guns and class mods and all that crap later. Why don't you get started and see what trouble you can kind of get into? I'll tell you, I'm proud of the fact that we've got the most guns in a video game, and they did count them up, and the certificate they presented me with said 17,750,000 guns in Borderlands 1.
Right.
And I was really excited and happy and pleased, but I think I kind of threw them off. I'm like, look, guys, you're going to have to, in a few months, we're releasing Borderlands 2, and we've already broken our record, so you're going to have to start counting all over again.
Surely they can just draw a 2.
Yeah,
and a certificate there.
Yes, yeah, just amend
Can we just
it.
have that back for a second, please?
But they actually printed the number of
Like
guns
Dexter.
on the award, so they're going to have to recount.
Yeah.
All right, so this is actually kind of an arena battle here, which means that there's going to be waves of Hyperion robots and loaders and things coming after us, and we've got to take them out. And if we succeed, there's some great rewards, but I've got to confess this is very challenging. Nice, blowing off arms. Am I allowed to say in Australia?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank
On
goodness.
yeah, well, I don't know. Whatever. We tend to do what we want. So.
Okay, good. I like the English language and all of its permutations.
Nice.
Indeed. So do you want to take us through maybe some of the action skills? that
Yeah,
the
so
characters
look,
have got?
Salvador's gun zerking right now. That means he can dual wield 2 weapons, any 2 weapons he's got at the same time. Zero's down, so why don't you help Zero get up there, revive him?
This is quite an embarrassing start.
You guys are just
I
getting
am
I
wrecked.
love that we're not playing.
I am so glad this
Yeah.
is not me right now.
To be fair, this is very challenging. We've done a really good
Why
job.
did you wink at me when you said that?
Oh, these guys are done. They're gonna go down already. Let's see. Can you help them out?
Second win.
You get your second wind.
Yes, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll tell you that we've done a good job as we've been communicating about the game. Screenshots, media, taking it to the press events and to the different conferences and stuff, where we haven't spoiled anything super important.
Right.
And I think that's really good because I think a lot of people are waiting for this. So this, in that vein, we're bringing this arena thing here to show you, which is awesome, but non-critical. It's a side quest. These are kind of optional objectives. Just fun things to do off to the side. Dude, you guys suck. You're getting your asses handed to you. We're going to have to change builds here in a moment. Maybe respec or something, because this is gets
I think
better.
what they're missing is that what you do is you point the gun at things,
Yeah.
and then you press the trigger, and then the things go down. I think maybe you should try that approach. I know that it's radical, but just have a think.
Yeah. The other thing too that I wanted to mention is we've gotten some criticism. I don't know if I'd say criticism, but because a lot of the things when we take the game out to demo, we want everybody to really have a good time and not really worried about difficulty. So the stuff that we've kind of shared has been pretty easy. So this kind of doesn't pull any punches. There's a lot of range of difficulty in the game, from the really easy, kind of fun, kind of loose stuff that just lets you explore the game to things that are extremely challenging that demand the best from the players, so that but there's great rewards.
So how many difficulty levels do you have, and is it like a scenario where the aim is to play through and then start a plus game on a higher difficulty level, or
You can do that. In fact, most people, when they finish the storyline for the first time, they are typically around levels 30 to 35, and the level cap at launch is level 50.
Yep.
So, starting a second playthrough is a great way to not only get more experience and level up, but also to get some incredible gear,
Yep.
which is really rewarding.
And also
okay,
check
so
out the different skill trees.
yeah, you can build other characters if you want. There's a new system actually called the Badass Rank system,
Oh, it
which
sounds
allows you
amazing,
to,
man.
it gives you stat bonuses for leveling up your player profile. So you as a player level up, not just your character, and that means if you play other characters, you're going to get some benefits of those stat increases. So these guys died. I think what you guys should do is try some
Stop
different
being
loadouts.
pussies.
Let's actually go back to
That's my advice.
the room in there, and let's look at what kind of gear these characters have on them. Maybe we can make some better choices. Gear is really important when we're playing the game. So if you see here, this is the loadout screen. Kind of shows what's in your backpack, shows what's on your body. Zero, what kind of shield? What kind of stuff do you got on you? So you've got a really basic white leaden shield. White is the most common kind of shield. What other kind of shields are in your backpack? Let's get something better. An adaptive shield, that's already has a better recharge delay. It also increases max health and includes some elemental resistance. Doesn't quite as have the capacity of the recharge rate, though, as your current shield. So let's see what else you got. That's pretty neat. Immunity to corrosive damage. I don't know, are you guys dealing with a lot of corrosive damage? Maybe we'll skip that one. A Malleon, which releases a corrosive nova. That seems pretty exciting. What else you got? An explosive Nova Blast too. These are both really great shields. Let's start with that first one on top, and maybe we'll switch to one of those Nova shields later on. So he's going to equip that. And by the way, hit the right button so you can inspect it and kind of see the gear up close. This is kind of a new feature, and since he's playing on the PC, he can also take a screenshot. He's got a 360 controller plugged into the PC. That's why you're seeing the 360 buttons there. He can take a screenshot, and it'll include the loot card. And I imagine a lot of users are going to use that to kind of create a database of the millions and millions of pieces of gear. Go ahead and back out and let's see what else you got. Let's look at class mods and things. What do we got here?
Pokemon cards.
So, what class mod did you start with?
Minus 15 minutes to Pokemon.
+3 fearless, team critical damage. Not bad. That's a nice rare or uncommon class mod. Let's see what else you got. Sure shot's pretty good. More team accuracy, a lot of precision. Oh, this could be useful for survivability. Even though it's white, it's got a reload speed and shield capacity increase. What's the last one you've got there? Action skill cooldown. Wow, that's like that's pretty badass. Every time you use your action skill, you've got to wait before you can use it again. So this will really improve that. Let's go ahead and try the augmented shield capacity one, because you guys need more survivability for sure. So we'll equip that. And do you have any relics? Did you do relics? Just reload speed. All right, that's fine. Cool. And you happy with your weapons? Tell you what, why don't you start running out and heading back to let's do a respec. So we're gonna have to run all the way. Do you think you can haul ass over there to Sanctuary and get a respec? Let's do that. And while he's running out for the respec, we'll let Salvador do his reload.
Boom, nailed that one.
Yeah.
Great loading screen.
Iridium blight.
I can feel the blight. I can almost smell it. It's permeating my very pores.
See, there's purple. There's purple in the environment.
Purple equals
Nice.
blight.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, Borderlands 1, we had brown, and we had a little lighter shade of brown, and we had a darker shade of brown. And Borderlands 2 has, like, the full package of crayons. It's got,
I always really loved the design of Borderlands.
Thank you.
It was what I loved about it initially anyway. But yeah, this is like that, but just way more colorful.
There's like
That's
a
great.
giant lava flow out there in the distance. So he's going to haul ass across the environment. Once Salvador gets in, let's load out Salvador down here while he's kind of running across the environment. What kind of shields and class mods do you've got, Sal? Let's see. That's all right. What else do you have in your inventory as far as shields go? Ooh, that's pretty neat. A lot more capacity. What else you got? Oh, that's badass. And you get amp damage when you when your shield's charged. So you'll do a lot more damage. That's pretty cool.
It's what we call sick.
Uh-oh.
What? And you're not going to be able to survive that bully monk.
We're failing the respec now.
It's okay. He'll let's work.
Okay.
Oh no! Go on.
Games these days are too easy,
Yeah.
This is proving beyond
Well, he's
doubt.
in an area that's a little bit too high, too OP for him. So, he'll just have to, run through. It's no big deal. The Hyperion Corporation is quite happy that he died. Actually, they'll charge him here with the new U station.
So what
It's
level
quite
are
a
these
nice
guys
little
at anyway?
respawn.
What level are these guys at?
28. They're
28.
28,
Right.
and he was facing a level 29 Bullymong out there. So. So why don't you just fast travel to Sanctuary, and then he's going to fast travel right now. So you ready for the travel in 2, 1. So in Sanctuary, it's kind of a hub town, and there's all kinds of places you can buy stuff and trade gear and meet characters. And they also have this machine that will allow you to respec, and that's what we're going to do right now to kind of give these characters a better spec so they have a better chance of fighting that arena battle.
So I like the vibe of Sanctuary. It's got this kind of cool, frontier town
Yeah,
kind of feel
yeah.
to it. It's got the moody kind of guitar music.
Yeah.
But my question to you is, does this game have dubstep?
Oh,
Because if not, it's not a modern video game.
really? I got to be honest. That trailer was kind of snarky. There is actually no dubstep in the music soundtrack of Borderlands 2.
Thank
We had, that's a good thing. Yeah, no,
That's a great thing.
it doesn't feel right in this game, but
No, it doesn't.
we had a lot of fun with that trailer. Was simultaneously using, and I think Nero's great, and I think that song's great. Doomsday's great, and we really enjoyed that trailer. But we were also kind of making fun of the fact that everyone's using dubstep for their
Well,
trailers these days.
when we were at E3 this year, we're sitting in the press conferences, like counting off, making sure that every major press conference was using dubstep, because clearly
Right.
it's going to fail if they don't.
Yeah, well,
So-
we as a counterpoint, we did the trailer with The Lion Sleeps Tonight in it. I don't know if you guys saw that one.
Yeah.
that was great. Yeah.
I think if you took every gun in Borderlands 2 and fired them at the same time, it would sound like dubstep. So, you respect.
Okay, so reset your skill points. Let's do a respec. And while he's here, by the way, you can also see that there's some configuration options. Look at the idea that he can change the heads and the skins that he's wearing. Go ahead and pick a different skin for Zero. There's a whole lot of options. Now, when you start the game, you'll just have a few options. And as you play, you can get more as loot. You can unlock some through specific challenges and missions. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
siren
Pick a
ones.
different-
They look cool.
Yeah, they are. They're really neat. Let's pick a different head here and see what... Oh, that's awesome. Completely different look. So go ahead and go with that. And look, he looks like a whole new character now.
Maybe you won't suck so
Hit
much
the back.
now.
Hit the back menu. Hit the back menu so we can get a look at Zero. He's kind of cropped off the screen there.
There you go. Cool.
That's pretty badass.
And Gunzerker's just hanging out.
Yeah.
Oh, lime
No,
green.
I like
lime
the sound
green.
of haggard and horrible for the Gunzerker.
What are you going with? Haggard and horror? That's
Yeah.
pretty haggard, I
Yep.
guess. Go down. You know
Ooh,
what? Go down and see
beautiful.
see if the gearbox skin is unlocked. Do you have that one unlocked? Scroll all the. Too bad. If you ever see someone with a yellow suit with the gearbox icon on the chest, that's a developer. That's one of us. We're the only ones that can get that. All right, let's pick a different. That's pretty cool.
Breaking bold.
Go with
There we go.
Booker Rosso, man. Yes.
The Baron.
Yes, it's
All
the
right.
only choice. Really.
And you'll unlock a lot of different heads and skins in the game as you play it. And actually, some rewards, like if you've played Borderlands 1, you'll find that you'll get a free. Go ahead, fast travel through. You'll find that you'll get a free skin and head for each character class that's unlocked if you've played Borderlands 1. Also, if you pre-order the game, I think we've got another. Actually, no, it's not with pre-orders. It's with the limited editions. That's right. If you get the limited edition set, either the Vault Hunters edition or the Ultimate Loot Chest, you'll get a custom exclusive head and skin for each character. And there's going to be some other ways that we'll get them out down the road. Look at this Tedier gun down here on the load screen. It's got a blade on it.
That's
It's
awesome.
pretty awesome. All right, you want to get a vehicle and drive back to the slaughter?
The slaughter, aptly named.
Yeah.
Guys.
All right.
Are there
This is a
many-
neat technical that 4 people can ride in together. And in fact, Salvador's just riding in the back there, just shoot his guns. You can also kind of use the turret if you wanted to.
Are there many new vehicles in the game, Randy?
Yeah, what's that?
Are there many new vehicles?
Well, this is a new vehicle right here. Look at that. This is you've never seen this before. We did also bring the runner back if you like that. But, vehicles are mostly mounts. They're just really for transportation, for convenience, and getting around the environment. They also have weapons on them, and they're useful for killing things. But we mostly like them for transportation. All right, we're gonna go back to the Ore Chasm and see
Still
if
funny.
these guys can do more damage now that they've respect and they've got more badass skins on.
It's going to be really awkward if they can't.
What kind of spec do you want there? Gonna go bloodshed this time, maybe?
Go on, good bloodshed.
He's doing it.
Or just use your secret developer hack to max out one of the skill trees.
Yeah. Get some backstab action. It's really fun. Especially with deception where you can sneak around behind guys.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely do the regen health because you're going to be doing a lot of melee attacks. There you go. That's a good build. What are you going to do, Gunzerker?
And I guess the other question is, how can these two classes kind of work as a team? Because if you've got the Siren in the mix, then you're using Phase Lock to hold enemies up, and then Gunzerker could just go.
Yeah, Gunzerker and Zero is a really interesting combination because they both have the possibility for throughput. But what's neat is that it's really about trading off aggro, right? Like if the Salvador's getting a lot of attention and he's starting to get weak, the Zero, the assassin, can use the deception skill, which creates a decoy, which tends to attract the attention of the enemies, while Zero himself is invisible and kind of slip away. Meanwhile, once Zero comes out of deception and the enemies start attacking the assassin again and start weakening the assassin, a brawn built Salvador can taunt the enemies and tank them and sort of draw the attention back to himself. So it's really about trading aggro back and forth between them.
What you're saying is these guys need to kind of discuss what they're going to do, coordinate a little bit more.
There's a lot of different ways to play it. Oh, that's a good idea. Load up on ammo before heading out. There's a lot of different ways to play it too. I think a sniping Zero is really good. While you get a Salvador Gunzerker down on the field, really just attracting all the attention of the enemy, while Zero can be kind of in a safe. He's almost like a glass cannon. Or he's in the background getting critical hits with a sniper attack. That's another way to play these two together. There's a throughput version of Salvador. I didn't see how he just built himself, but it's really about keeping your rate of fire up and doing a hell of a lot of damage. So that's one where you keep him in the back and you kind of let Zero kind of kite the enemies around by zipping around really fast using deception. We'll see how they play it. These guys are both noobs, so I don't expect them to survive one. To be fair, this is a really challenging fight, and they're not really OP for it. You could level up and come back here and make it a little easier for yourself.
I got a good feeling about it.
See, Innuendo Bot, prepare to be penetrated with bullets. He's really...
It's good because we're all 12. So
Yeah.
we find that funny.
How many rounds are there?
3 waves, multiple rounds. 3 waves in this round. Next wave has 4.
Right.
Okay, so he's right off to his deception. Look at that melee hit. And Zero's in trouble. Every melee hit gets you health back. Remember that. Look at that grenade he's placed. Pretty awesome. It's like creating like a flame turret.
Might be alive.
There we go.
So good.
Everybody's cool.
It's going to be
Nothing-
fine.
Oh.
It's not going to be fine.
Okay. When you come out of the...
Messed up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all right.
You're just going to run right into the
Kill
middle
the
of the fight.
robots.
You're out of ammo,
Out of
dude.
ammo.
Brent, you're kind of disappointing us here. Well done. Ooh, look at that gun. That's pretty sweet.
It's a lot of visual flourishes on the weaponry.
Yeah, that
It's
weapon
really,
is bizarre. It's like it got a caustic effect to it. It's been modified with an ancient alien barrel on it, so it's twisted the effect of that gun. Get him up, get him up. Ooh, that was close.
And each weapon manufacturer has like a whole kind of different vibe to the design, right? Oh, here we go.
And the Malia one he's got down here, look at the rate of fire on that thing. It's just constantly spinning, throwing bullets out, but he's going to die, so. You guys can't even get past one wave. This is shameful. This is shameful.
We'll just rename this video to how not to play Borderlands 2.
I'll tell you one thing though, Zero's gotten a lot more experience from this than the Berserker has. So he's already like 2.5 bars in on the experience bar, but.
So what you're saying is the Berserker isn't pulling his weight?
I think that's the problem. So it's actually all Alan's fault. I was giving Brent some. That's a badass loader. That's badass. He's hard to kill. Does a lot of damage. Not to be trifled with.
It's
Brent's helping
him from though.
Yeah, he's helping him from the top. And
yeah.
Are you innuendo bot now?
Yep.
Always.
Some gear dropped. What was that? It was a green something or other. He made it past wave 1.
Well, huzzah.
Let's see what that gear is. That's a triple-barreled shotgun. I think you should check that out, man.
Yes.
Hold X and you'll immediately equip it. That's pretty badass. It's a TDR too, which means it's a disposable weapon. You don't ever reload a TDR. You just sort of throw it away and destruct a new one. Oh, he's dual wielding. Oh my God!
Just go right in there.
Run right into the fire.
Just gives a.
It's over.
Really should have just pressed X to give up there.
Yeah. Notice how they have an optional mission about critical hits, and Brent's racking them up right now. He's got 6 out of 10. Oh, but you failed. You got to start over.
Wait, was that part of the badass ranking thing? Like
no.
Sub-challenges for that,
Yeah,
right?
no, there's optional challenges with some of the missions, and you can get different rewards for them. Sometimes you get extra experience, sometimes extra cash. Occasionally there's bonus gear that you can get. You might want to restock ammunition. Marcus is back. He's the gun vendor on Pandora. He's always happy to profit from your failures.
And so how do the kind of sub-challenges attached to the badass rank?
If you look right now down here on the Gunzerker,
right.
He's doing the badass ranks. He's basically spending his tokens right now to increase certain stats. And you'll see the bonus stats down there. Those are the stats that he's improving through upgrading his badass rank.
Yep.
He's focusing on things like gun damage and critical hit damage. And every time he goes up a badass rank, he has a chance to get a token. I don't know if we should spend the time necessary to do all those tokens since he had like over 200 of them stacked up there. But that's something you can do as you play along the game. What's neat about the badass ranks is all the benefits you earn from your badass rank apply to any character you create. So if you start a new character, you'll be able to go right away with your damage bonuses or whatever.
And are the 5 options that you're given, they're randomly generated from a set of 12 or 13? Or
more than that, more than 10, less than 20. I don't remember the exact number of stats there are.
Some.
A bunch of really core stats, and then it kind of every time you use a token, it rolls randomly which ones you'll have a chance to upgrade, and then it lets you pick. So you get both a random element and a choice, which is neat. And then the other thing about it too is if you think it's cheating, like if you want to create a new character that's a pure character, you're welcome to toggle off the benefits. You're not forced to accept the benefits.
I'm all about cheating.
Yeah, I figure if you've sunk like 40, 50, 60 hours into a game, you should get something out of that when you start a new character.
Look at that piece of purple there on the feet of the monsters. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's an iridium on the flow. Maybe when Zero gets a chance to not die, he'll look at it. I saw it. Did you see the iridium line over there?
Yep.
It's see where they spawned? Yeah, there it is. Iridium is super valuable.
So you spend that on the black market?
Yeah, right? you can use the currency on the black market. You can also use it to kind of, in fact, it takes Iridium to unlock access to the Terramorphous raid boss, which is like an end game raid boss. He's level 52, so you want to wait till you've really reached the level cap and maxed out your character capability. Salvador's dying.
So how much does the difficulty scale with number of people? I mean, can we give these guys an excuse for doing as well as they are?
To be fair, this is a really challenging fight, because we've been using a lot of easy stuff when we demo the game, and we wanted to prove that there are some challenges out there. But also, this is best fought with 4 players, and they're trying to do it 2 players.
But does it not?
Some of our QA guys
back a little bit.
It does. But some of our QA guys have actually soloed this, so it's not impossible. But they're also playing characters that are probably not their own, not familiar with them. When you play the game from the beginning, you really develop some skill with your tree and your gear, and you become the master of your own kind of. And then there's the game kind of, because you make choices about your skills, because you're making choices about your gear, and because you're playing with it as you're making those choices, you really, it really becomes a personal kind of thing. Your character becomes really tuned to your play style.
So if you're going to play to just kind of unwind, chill out, enjoy yourself, what character would you go with, and what build would you go with?
Well, I mean, chill. What do you mean chill?
I don't know, development's over, you're done with the game, you just want to play it and enjoy it.
I can tell you what I've been doing. I mean, I enjoy all of it, but I spent most of the development of the game playing Salvador, and then once the guys got the assassin going, because there was a moment where Jonathan and Paul's the creative director. Jonathan designed most of the skills for the characters. They wanted to do this thing with Zero with the kind of lunging melee attack and the chain kills that I didn't think was going to work. I thought it was going to create too many bugs. I thought it was a risk. And I kind of cautioned them against it. Unfortunately, they ignored me. and so when they got it going and the character was pretty much ready to go, I started playing Zero, and I was just loving him. So then I went, I left kind of Salvador behind, started playing Zero. Lately, I've just started playing Maya, and she's really interesting. I have a feeling that I'm going to really like her as I get more into her. But I'm still learning how to use all the different stuff that she can do. I'm kind of playing with
you're doing so well.
Brent. That was hilarious. I'm winning now. I'm just gonna suicide. We'll help him out. Salvador still has a chance.
He clearly doesn't want to succeed.
Yeah.
This is like, I don't know. Should we?
He's like, wait a minute. Randy said this was hard, and I'm starting to make it look easy. Let me do Randy a favor and kill myself. See, it's hard, guys. It's hard. You were starting to kick a lot of ass there. You were starting to kick a lot of ass. Can you weaken that guy so he can get a second wind? This wave 3 here, there's surveyors running around. It's really about target prioritization. See if you can take out the surveyor so they don't repair those bots. See how that surveyor, that little droid there, is kind of got a beam? It's actually trying to heal one of the other robots or creating shields. They're wicked. You gotta really prioritize the right targets in some of these situations. Yeah, they're protecting that warloader, which is a giant kind of, and the guns are really hot. And yes.
Nice.
Did it, dude? That's a round that's down.
Yes.
You guys, I can't believe it. The respec worked. You're gonna come up and turn it in. You want to do another round? Oh, he nods yes. He's feeling cocky.
He's cocky now.
It's gonna get rocky. Don't get cocky, kid. All right, let's see what happens here.
He's got a little jaunt in his step now.
I know. He's like, that was pretty badass, though. I gotta admit. We watched. We've let a few journalists start to play this, and it's really a joy to watch how badly this kicks their asses, especially after we've kind of made it easy with some of the other stuff we've been demoing the game with. Are you ready for round 2?
Hell yes.
Hells to the yeah.
So how about the Necromancer?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's actually the development's going along great. Top line on that, Necromancer will be available. It's going to be an additional character that gets added to the game. Mm-hmm. We added that capability in Borderlands 2 for us to add characters after launch. We didn't have that in Borderlands 1.
Right.
And the first character that will be an add-on kind of downloadable content character is the Necromancer, and we have to develop her. Now that we finished Borderlands 2, we were able to start working on her, and it's going really good. She's pretty far along. We still got a lot of work to do. I promised that we would have her available about 60 to 90 days after the game launches, but it's going really good. I think we're actually, I don't want to be burned by this, but I think we're going to beat even the 60-day promise. I think we're actually going to get it out sooner than that.
Yeah, cool.
And I'm really hoping that development keeps going at the pace that it's going at so that it can come out as soon as possible.
So what's her action skill? How does she kind of fit flavor-wise?
She is a necromancer, so she is a master of robotics and technology, and she's created a pet robot that she calls Death Trap, and it's this monstrous, horrible thing that can just, chop up its enemies into little bits. And so she can summon Death Trap, digistruct it into existence, and it can do different things depending on the different skill trees.
Right.
And there's some different skill trees that Jonathan's cooked up. One of them is really for the advanced player, some nuances where if you have a lot of skill, you'll probably be one of the more effective character classes with her. There's another skill tree that's actually designed to help more noobish player that doesn't have a lot of first-person shooter skill be useful. It's not going to be the most effective tree, but it at least helps them be useful in combat. And that's kind of a neat way to if you have friends that you want to introduce gaming to, you can get the Necromancer class and let them play split screen with you, and it kind of encourages them to get started with the game. It's pretty cool.
Or if you're just like me and you kind of suck.
Yeah, it's.
Hey man, you got all the way through the first one.
I did, and I loved it.
You can't suck that bad, then.
It probably took me a lot longer than most
I think
other
this was
people.
just more innuendo bot, is what you're.
God, I can't say anything.
So these loaders, these are. Don't let that thing. Oh shoot!
Oh,
it's
that looks
cooking.
bad.
Okay,
That
yeah.
looks
So
really
he
bad.
can make a shield that. Notice how his bullets are reflecting off of
Yeah.
it. That's an ion loader that. Yeah, you don't want to let those guys get set up. You want to take them down before they get set up like that. Otherwise, they create a kind of shield that other robots can use to defend themselves. All of these bots you're seeing here, these are actually Hyperion mining tools that Handsome Jack had retrofitted into weaponized kind of things. That's a bull loader. It's got this giant kind of bulldozer thing to it. And now he's going inside the shield to get protected. Salvador, we've got 0 down. We're going to need some help.
I gotta say though, unless an enemy has a slot machine built into its back, I just don't know if you guys are trying. I want the loot to be there and obvious. You take it down, you pull the thing, bang.
That
gold.
actually exists.
I know. It's the last time I played the game. It was amazing.
That actually exists. Some giant bandits carrying around slot machines and vending machines on their back that actually work.
And you take down a big enough enemy, and it's got a treasure chest built into its body as well, and up it rises.
I love that bull loader using his kind of bulldozer shovel as a shield. He'll transform sometimes into a car, like a little bulldozer car, and charge at you. It's pretty rad. There he goes. Look, see him?
Oh, yeah.
And he killed Salvador. Oh, you killed the... You denied him a second win. And you're going to die too. You need to use
ammo.
yeah, there you go. Somebody's got to go in there and take that ion out. There, it's dead. Sweet. And now the bull loader's exposed. Did you see how the bull loader was staying in the shield?
Hiding in there,
Yeah. We've really done a lot with artificial intelligence and behaviors. Borderlands 1, the typical enemy had just a handful of behaviors. You can count them on one hand, whereas dozens and dozens of behaviors are available now.
I noticed that instantly when I had a little bit of a playthrough.
Yeah.
Of Borderlands 2.
And it creates a much more vibrant, dynamic kind of combat environment.
How do you get it to prioritize, when there's 4 people here, 4 humans?
Yeah.
How do you get the enemies to prioritize who's the biggest threat or who they think is the biggest?
there's a whole system underlying that with threat is a component, and there's different factors that zeroes down different factors that can influence the threat that a player is giving each enemy. And Salvador's going down. But we've got some really brilliant behavior AI developers at Gearbox that have done an incredible job.
Close, man.
Yes.
Woohoo! He's only on wave 2 out of 4. Too, so. Alan's proud of himself. He's surviving. Oh, we got some snipe support here. Don't you wish you were Sniper Tree? Yeah, if Zero is in a Sniper Tree right now, he could use his deception skill to see the critical spots on the enemies and get some bonuses for critical hits. There's even a skill where every time you get a critical hit, you'll get a stack of a buff, which will really amplify your critical damage and your regular damage. And if you keep getting critical hits without missing, you'll continue to stack that buff. And you can stack that buff up to 999 times. And when you do, you're just like incredible. You'll one-shot anything in the game, but you can't miss a critical hit if you're going to keep it. Go back and buy more ammo, dude. Salvador, you're going to have to survive for a little while on your own. Oh, it's not going to happen.
That's not, yeah, it's not a thing.
There's a warloader there.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
No. One of the neat things about the game is, in addition to all the great adventures and story and the mission quests that are part of the core narrative that you'll have, you do have these kind of alternate little kind of gameplay loops that you can do, whether it's a raid boss or an arena fight, that can really turn Borderlands into a hobby, and you can come into these kind of arenas and fight them over and over again, and it's a lot of fun. But a lot of the the main the other reason why we wanted to show this too, in addition to exposing how challenging it is, but we've been really careful not to spoil anything really important in all of the media we've done so far, and I think I like that. I think that the people that are the most hardcore fans of Borderlands that really kind of want that unspoiled introduction to Borderlands 2 are going to appreciate the fact that we haven't ruined anything for them.
So how randomized are the enemies in this arena in each wave?
I think there's a class and a type of range that can appear in each wave, but there is some randomization. We'll see. We're going to do these 2 waves over again, so you'll see some of the same types of enemies, but where they spawn from and the exact variants is perftly clear.
Yeah, I mean you were talking
Here
about
they come jetting in.
the sophistication of the AI, but there's a lot of enemy variety too.
Yeah,
you got kind of like flame variants of enemies and bigger, like badass ones, and standard size ones.
That's right.
And
amazing amount of variety. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of enemies in Borderlands 2. Did you get it? It's called an EXP loader, an exploder, and it just kind of runs at you and blows up.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. I think that might have been Jeremy's idea. I don't remember. Somebody clever came up with that. Jeremy Cook is the art director on Borderlands 2. Really brilliant guy. Oh, nice. Some melee strike. Got a lot of health back from that because of his spec. Don't let that exploder get near you. Get the hell away. Well done.
So what was the thinking behind adding slag in to this game? Because I think it's kind of a valuable element to have.
It is. It kind of creates a new tactical layer, right? Like, the elemental effects are really fun. But when you put a slag effect on an enemy, what it does is it increases the amount of damage that enemy takes by other effects. So it kind of allows for combinations. It definitely is fun in co-op. It's also
perfect for co-op.
Yeah, it's also great for the Gunzerker. Imagine a dual wielding where one weapon is a slag weapon and the other weapon stacks some other kind of elemental effect.
Yep.
And it really just kind of adds a whole new tactical element to the game, and we'll find some industrious players min-maxing the heck out of the game by using and exploiting the slag effects. Maya actually has some really awesome capabilities in some of her skill trees to put slag effects on the enemy, and I think it really all started with her, and then we started adding them to weapons and some other things to kind of let other players enjoy the slag effect.
Enjoy the slag effect.
Yeah.
That should be the tagline for the game. Borderlands 2.
This ion loader's getting set up. Okay, so now that's a problem. Now it's kind of a home
or a
base.
band name, Slag Effect.
That is a good band name.
So
Slag Effect 3.
Although, Handsome Jack and the Slag Effects. I think would probably be...
Not bad.
I do like that.
Just say at this point in the development of the original Borderlands, do you think you could have seen yourself at this point now, like with such a hugely anticipated sequel after?
Oh man, I gotta tell you, it's really a weird spot to be in. I'm so used to, especially like when we like, you know, when we were making Borderlands, we took such a big risk with it. And even when we created the Brothers in Arms series, we really kind of went off the beaten path of what folks expect from a war game. We really took that subject matter with a lot of deference and a lot of authenticity. And usually the world I'm in is one where I have to scream from the tallest mountain just to get any amount of attention.
Yeah.
And now, you know, and especially with Borderlands, I mean, everybody thought we were crazy. They were telling us it wasn't going to work. Some folks predicted it was going to fail. And of course we believed in it. That's why we did it, you know. But to be in this spot, I don't know. I'm kind of head down. We're just kind of focusing on trying to entertain people. But it feels really cool to know that even before you exist, that there's a lot of folks that are anticipating and looking forward to it. And but ultimately, you know, we just try to focus on, you know, creating the entertainment and letting our games kind of speak for us, you know. So I hope everyone has a great time. We've certainly worked our asses off, probably put more than twice the amount of energy into Borderlands 2 that we did into Borderlands 1, and I think it's paid off. I think it's the best game we've ever made.
Well, it's not Hell's Highway. I mean, Hell's Highway. I really like that.
Thank you. We really liked it too.
It's no Drive to San Francisco. I mean, I know that wasn't made by you guys, but
no, Hell's Highway was, you know, that was a different kind of passion behind that, you know, and I really love everything we've done with that series, and kind of, you know, look forward to spending more time with Sergeant Baker and his guys and doing more with the Brothers in Arms franchise.
I mean, this looks almost as good as Hell's Highway, but like, you know, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was.
I don't know if you're snarky.
Backhanded compliment.
I don't know if you're snarky or not.
Step down from Hell's Highway.
No, well, personally, I really
but nobody knows how much I love Hell's Highway, right?
Thank you. Totally different art direction, totally different intent. But I think you're going to be pretty pleased then if you like Hell's Highway with some things we're going to be doing down the road.
See, I really loved the original Borderlands.
Oh,
and
thank
I was
you.
super stoked to see it sort of gain that popularity
Me too.
over time and, you know, with the expansions, and then when they started talking about a sequel, so it's great to see it happen.
Well, the best thing about it being successful is it kind of affords us the right and the opportunity to double down and, you know, make things bigger and better than ever.
More, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were able to do Borderlands 2 with twice the budget of Borderlands 1, and and none of it had to be spent on the amount of invention that we had to figure out with Borderlands 1. You know, we had to invent this whole new genre basically with Borderlands 1, and it was not easy to figure that out. Oh, really good idea. Look at that. He's using this. Oh, now you're in trouble.
Speaking of creating new genres, I mean, you recently quoted or misquoted, I don't know, about saying how you were surprised no one's copied the Borderlands formula. Yeah. And I went on to the Zynga website, and even they haven't copied it.
Oh, what the hell? Wait, Zynga, no. Gameloft, no.
I was expecting Gunville or something. But so, like...
That's because the game doesn't milk people with microtransactions.
Yeah.
If it did that, I guarantee you that it'd already been on it.
Sure
every time you want to pick up loot, you need to.
Yeah, if we charged you every time you had a gun drop, that would have then Zynga would have been on it.
I don't have the energy to pick up this gun.
I have heard some rumors that there is at least one major publisher that is involved in an effort that they are calling internally what they hope will be a Borderlands killer, and that's kind of like the mandate for their project, and it is. It's very flattering. I'm kind of excited.
And
you're
just like, well, as long as it's nowhere near the release of Borderlands 2, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna. You know, I think when they play Borderlands 2, they're going to have to scratch their heads and go back to the drawing board on a couple of things because they're going to see how far we push things. But I'm excited for it. You know, I mean, obviously there's a lot that we've borrowed from other genres and other games that inspired Borderlands, and I think it's just part of the whole.
So was the naming of Sanctuary a deliberate thing, or was that?
No, that was
just pure coincidence.
Yeah. Like, what is it? What does it relate to? Like when you ask the question, it seems like I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, Diablo.
Oh, yeah.
Diablo.
No, totally random. Is it Sanctuary's in Diablo 3?
Sanctuary is the world that Diablo is set in.
Diablo 7.
Set in.
Oh,
yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of Diablo. How did I not know that?
I don't know.
They don't make that really clear.
I mean, and you've got this old guy, Keka Dane.
Yeah.
Game. You know, that seems a little.
Oh, that's a direct reference.
Okay.
We love Diablo. We love Diablo, and we put a lot of reference. In fact, what was cool, we found some references to Borderlands in Diablo 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was they had Nine Toads, who was a reference to Nine Toes,
Right.
and he dropped a weapon called the Clipper, which is what Nine Toes drops in Borderlands 1.
That's awesome.
Nice.
And it even had the same flavor text, like "Don't drop it," because the Clipper's got a blade on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's really sweet.
Don't drop it, you might lose a toe, I think is the exact flavor text. And there's a couple other references to Borderlands that we found in Diablo 3, and I think that's really cool. And we've, of course, over and over while we were talking about Borderlands 1, we talked about the influences there. I've been a fan of that genre since Hack, since NetHack, frankly, since all the roguelikes, and Diablo really did the best job of kind of, putting a graphical interface and creating kind of a more action kind of loop to that NetHack.
And that's it.
Design.
I mean, video game evolution is an iterative process.
Absolutely.
And so you guys do
things are.
always build on the foundation of what's come before, but then you go, okay, let's go first person. And that's the big innovation. So.
Yeah, and we obviously there's if you think about it from a style point of view or from a story point of view, there's nothing at all the same about Diablo and Borderlands, but certainly we love to borrow from great games and great designs from a game design point of view. Yeah, it was really fun to you mentioned Hell's Highway. Hell's Highway and all the Borderlands or all the Brothers in Arms games really allowed us to invent with game design, where we added tactics and kind of squad combat and fire maneuver.
Yeah.
But in terms of story and style, style especially, we really just borrowed and followed from what the mind's eye imagines that gritty World War II experience to be. And so it wasn't really an invented style, whereas if you look at the art direction of Borderlands, you've never seen anything like it. And the universe is one that we've created.
Do you think that's one of the reasons that Borderlands did become such a hit in the end? Because the first time we saw when you unveiled the kind of big graphic overhaul
that was surprising,
you've done in the game, that really got my attention.
You're like, whoa, what's
I was
this?
suddenly like, yes, this game looks amazing.
It killed me. I was like, yes.
I think I think it helped, and I think the game design is why it's so fun. But I think the art direction is exactly correct for the tone of the game and for what the game design needed it to be. And I think the realism approach wasn't exactly right for it. So I really think we made the right call there by making the change. I also think the other way that it helped was that when let's say you have an early adopter that found Borderlands and talks about it and he tells a friend, it then becomes if that person goes looking for it, it's distinguishable.
Yep.
You can identify it. I did this experiment back when we had a realistic kind of style, and I had some screenshots of Borderlands, and I had some screenshots of Fallout, and I had some screenshots of Rage, and I that guy just tried to get up there. That was awesome. I had these screenshots of these different games, and I was kind of concerned about the various the quality level of all the different games, and trying to figure out which one of us had the best graphics. And that was when we were realism. And what I did was I took these screenshots to some people in my family who are non-gamers.
Right.
Total muggles, as I call them. And I showed them the screenshots, and my question was, which of these looks the best? And what I didn't realize is that when they looked at the different games, they weren't looking at them as different games. They looked at all these screenshots and they thought that they all came from the same game.
Yep.
They did not realize that I was showing them screenshots from 3 different games, and that's when I kind of felt like, oh man, we got to do something here, And when Brian and the guys really just, pushed us into this radical overhaul of the look, a part of me was terrified at the implications of the production cost, because you gotta.
It was pretty late in the day.
It was very late. It was not. It was an expensive decision. Let me say that it was not a cheap decision to make, but I was grateful for what it meant for the look and feel.
It's just
of the game.
so much cooler, honestly.
Thank you.
Really.
I'll pass that along to the artist that really drove that decision. Ultimately, I'm accountable for the decision, and I made it eyes wide open. But I didn't create the art direction. I was fortunate enough to be on a team of people that care so much that they brought it forward and kind of said, "This is what we need to do."
And so that was one really big change. But another kind of change across from Borderlands 1 through the expansion packs to this game is kind of the...
Dude, you guys just did round 2. Sorry.
Oh, really?
I'm sorry. They succeeded. Holy crap. That's amazing.
All right, so we're going to be here for another few hours. What I was going to say is that the kind of going from a slightly drier kind of approach to more of a comedic kind of really humor-focused approach.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about kind of how you kind of found the voice of this world?
Well, we always had this kind of humorous kind of thing to it. Even one of our keywords, we said we want it to be a little Verhoeven. And I remember when Matt Armstrong first implemented the first currency in the game, and he called it cash money.
Yep.
Like the name of the currency was cash money.
Yep.
So there's always was this kind of personality and this attitude, and it just the realism was kind of suppressing that and holding that back because some of that personality didn't fit with the super plausible realistic look. Once we allowed the kind of implausibility of this art direction, a whole lot of other bits of attitude and personality were able to just burst forth, and that was a really exciting kind of liberating moment for the team, and obviously everyone ran with it, and that's why you get so much goofy stuff and fun and entertaining stuff. And it really, the other thing that kind of happened is there was this trend, and it still kind of goes on, where everybody, games need to prove that they can be serious, and I like some of that. I think we were able to convey some real emotions in the Brothers in Arms series, and I think that's important. But we also shouldn't forget that it's okay for video games to be fun too. Video games are kind of supposed to be fun, and it is fun to feel emotion, whether that's happy or sad. But there's a whole range of emotions, and it's not there's not just one holy grail, which is about I'm going to make a player cry. I think that's a noble goal, but let's also make them laugh and make them smile. And
well, funnily enough, these guys were crying earlier on after their third attempt at round one.
After the punishment, yes. There can be some controller throws when you are invested, when you feel the stakes. Oh, brilliant. See that? He used an exploder bot to take out that power loader. Nice grenade placement. Holy crap. You guys are getting pro. This is round 3 though. You're gonna get wrecked at some point. Sal's down. Well done. And Sal's up. Well, I see a blue on the ground. They're like, no time for gear. I just gotta shoot. We'll kill everything, then we'll look at the loot. I can't help it. I'm so loot driven. I see the little blue line there. I'm like, what is that?
I will die going for it every time.
I think Brent's become a little disciplined. Good for him. Oh, there's a bazooka there.
Uh-oh.
He's knocked the arm off of that loader there.
Oh, and the other one.
All right, go get that blue. What is that thing? It's like a submachine gun or something. Asset projectile convergence. Okay. Hyperion weapon. Of course it's Hyperion. It's all right. Damage wasn't that great on there. I think you're really liking your sniper rifle, even though you built for bloodshed tree. A hot loader. That's a new one. He's shooting flaming balls at you. Oh, you're in trouble. If you get 2 more crits, you'll be okay. Oh, Sal just ganked you.
Dude, come on.
Okay, he's reviving you. He's making up for his transgression.
And about to die.
Probably just so he can kill him.
Oh, and he killed himself doing it. Deception.
So
Deception before you start. Cool. Now do it. See, recovering a guy during deception is one of the greatest advanced strategies.
That's champagne Borderlands.
There's something flying over your head. Oh, what's all that purple shit?
What is that?
Somebody's raining artillery from the side there. He's like, can't look now. Gotta get a second wind.
Nice.
Did it. A jet loader. Oh, those things transform into jets. They're basically transformers. Those things are amazing. Yeah, this is getting tough. You're getting some of the most difficult Hyperion bots coming at you right now.
And our assassin is on
Rocket pods
49.
incoming. Look, see it transform? Isn't that amazing? Ruben and his team are just gods, in my opinion. The fact that Ruben's one of the guys that leads the group that does all the enemy variants, and they dream up a lot of the stuff, and they get all the animations and behaviors in there, and that's just freaking cool.
Uh-oh.
See that grenade icon over his head?
Yep.
Yeah, the bots kind of emote too. You can also see, like, if you ever see a wrench over their head, that means they're calling for help, and other surveyors will come by and.
What I do like about Borderlands over other shooters, though, is that I always have this issue with assumed knowledge of guns in games.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what guns are, and so I don't know what they do.
It's like MP what?
Yeah, so I love that in Borderlands it lays it out really clearly for you.
Yeah.
Is this better? Do I like this more?
That process took so long. Matt Armstrong and the guys committed so much to that process of communication, and there was a time when there were like 40 stats. It was like super complicated, and trying to decide what to show and what not to show and how to outline it. Like, they really went over that over and over and iterated that over and over and really perfected it in Borderlands 2.
Yeah, it's just enough information to let you make that decision right there.
Yeah. It's a genre that you inevitably spend time in your inventory screen.
Yep.
But you want to minimize that. You want to make it as obvious as you possibly can.
Oh, I saw that coming too.
Oh
dear.
You guys are in trouble. Somebody needs a second wind.
It's doable. It's definitely doable.
Hopefully it's 0 because he's got. Okay, get Sal up. And deception, perfect.
Nice.
Oh no, those are RPGs.
Wow.
Too close.
That was quick.
Well,
Perhaps we should.
it was valiant effort.
I got a quick logistical question.
Maybe you guys can get round 3 some other time. Go ahead, hit your logistical.
On the
question.
cover of the first Borderlands, you had the guy with his fingers up to his head, blowing his.
I didn't know where he was going.
Yes.
And the second one, you had 2 hands.
Yes.
Where do you go from there?
Well, there's only one.
You add a third
You got to
arm?
bring out your third hand for Borderlands 3. We're actually going to skip Borderlands 3 and go straight to Borderlands 4, and then we'll just have 2 characters, and it all sorts itself out.
Okay, I was concerned there couldn't be a third.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's going to be hard. We call that the blood moose because, like, the art coming out of it's almost like blood, like horns of a moose. All right, guys, you have a good time. You guys ready to call it a night?
Man,
all right. Good. Next time you guys can do round 4 or round 3 for us. But I was impressed you made it that far.
Next time you guys
frankly.
can commentate and we'll play and
Make fun of them.
Yeah, exactly. Because I can guarantee I wouldn't have done as well as they did.
I'm quite impressed. I'm surprised I made it to round 3. Actually, that was pretty good. Pretty good.
So
All right. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope everybody enjoys Borderlands 2 when it comes out in September 21st.
And that was just 1 hour out of a possible bazillion hours of gameplay.
Bazillion hours. Yeah, right on.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much, Randy.
Yeah,
That was
cheers.
excellent.
Cheers.
Yeah, we'll see you same time next week.
Absolutely.
Maybe not. This is a long way away.
I'm moving in, right? I'm part of the show now permanently. So, have a good one, guys.
All right. Thanks, y'all.